Daniel Jones coming off a playoff appearance and a massive contract extension, but now it's on to the 2023 season. And Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, I love that name, Wink, gave Jones high praise, saying he's, quote, throwing the ball better than he ever has, close quote. Danny Dimes, a polarizing topic on this show, a polarizing topic in the National Football League. James, I believe Danny Dimes can take the Giants to the next level. I believe that Danny Dimes can be the quarterback that is at least efficient enough to not only not stand in the team's way, but also help elevate the team, particularly with the addition of some pieces offensively, particularly and most notably Darren Waller in my mind. You also got Tolbert, third-round pick, Wyatt, third-round pick out of Tennessee. He's a dude as well with burners. Yeah. I think Danny Dimes can take them to the next step. What say you?
Well, you know, I like TV. And the reason why is we don't got to agree with each other. Absolutely not. I mean, what are we saying next level? He won a playoff game.
Yes, sir.
So we saying he going to win two of them?
Give me two of them.
All right, so you saying if he going to win two of them, that means he either beating the Eagles or the Niners, right? So that's what we saying. I don't think that's going to get done, right? Number two, 15 touchdown passes, right? To be able to have your team in a position like that, we hoping it's going to be a home playoff game. If you are going to beat the Niners or beat the Eagles, we hoping it's going to be at home, right? You have to throw more for 3,000 yards and 15 touchdown passes. And you're going to really have to double that. I'm not saying the yardage, but touchdown-wise, with what you got with Waller and all that, you are going to have to double that. With my own two eyes, even as great as I think Dayball is and how great he puts schemes out there to be able to make Daniel Jones, you know, successful, I don't see that big of a jump. And if he does not have that big of a jump, he's not going to win two playoff games. I am one up here that I am not a believer in Daniel Jones yet. Now, halfway during the season, that could change. Okay. Y'all, you could tell me I told you so. But right now, I don't think Daniel Jones is in that elite category to take his team as a quarterback and win two playoff games. Because we all know when you get in the playoffs, the quarterback is going to have to play at a high level.
And he did
I don't know if he's ready to compete against those guys that he's going to be competing against in the playoffs to win two of them. Kirk Cousins, cool. But Jalen Hurts and the 49ers, I don't know if he's ready to get that done, so I'm going to say no.
That's fair.
Two?
No. Just tell him, Joy. No.
He's 21, 31, and 1 in his career.
Say that again, Joy.
They won 9 games last year.
Ooh, I'm talking about recent, James.
Well, they did
Okay, recently they won 9 games during the regular season.
Yeah.
That's not getting anywhere near the playoffs. It just happens to be that in the conference that work. If we're going to keep it a buck.
Well.
I'm contractually required to do, you know, to speak. I mean, I like him. I think he took a major step up. I think it was obviously coaching and obviously having Saquon there, because I don't want to bore you with what he looks like without Saquon Barkley.
No, please.
Not good.
Please give us a couple.
Actually, I mean, this is really this little section here is just what Saquon should have brought to the negotiating table. Like, if you're wondering why you need to pay me, just look at those numbers right there. Right there, without. Not pretty. I understand Saquon's there, but to my point, Saquon is what makes him him. Yeah, you can look at that. Saquon's what makes him him, and coaching is what makes him him. So if you're talking about being in an elite space where I know you can go win the game, the quarterback can go win the game, you can go beat a 49ers, you can go beat a Cowboys, you can go beat an Eagles. Gosh, I need to see that. I think he took a major step up. He earned the money, although they should have paid Saquon first. But I think it's a lot of what's around him that makes him that much better, because those numbers shouldn't look like that if it was him and not the running
Wouldn't
game.
you say that about, because I would say that about a lot of quarterbacks, most notably a quarterback favorite on the show.
And I also wouldn't say it about...
What was that?
Jalen Hurts.
What you going to say about it?
I would say the same thing. Jalen Hurts is a big beneficiary of the people around him.
Everyone is a beneficiary of the people around him. The difference is when we got the gift. We got the gift of seeing what the Eagles look like without Jalen Hurts last year.
Thank you.
We got that gift.
Correct.
The football guys were like, y'all talking too much. Jalen, go ahead and put in this man, Gardner Minshew, and see what it looks like.
They still put up 30-plus points, I think.
Did they win? Did they get the dub?
No, because the defense gave up 40, but, I mean, they still put up 30-plus points.
I mean, Dak scored more when they came in, too, and people give Dak a hard time.
I love knowing how much a team scored and lost, because we put asterisks next to it. They scored a bunch of points, though.
No, you're talking about quarterbacks.
I mean, but like
Would they have lost that game with Jalen Hurts in?
They played the Cowboys. I don't know. Cowboys are a good team.
I mean, we did get a pick six. That, like, I know the points say the offense, but we didn't score that. You know what I mean? Turnovers put us in a good situation, so you can't.
Answer the question, Shady.
I'm torn between this question because you guys are right. I think that Daniel Jones, he's a solid quarterback, right? What we've seen for all these years don't just leave our eyes just because he had a solid year last year. And last year, this just was a solid year. Yeah. Wasn't super great. I do think that in the second year of Daboll's offense, I think you'll see You'll see him being more consistent. You'll see better balls. You'll see better plays. The different designs. I think the more he's comfortable in the offense, you'll see better play from him. You bring Saquon Barkley back, right? And then you add on Darren Waller. That's going to help out.
Yeah.
What Daboll loves to do, he loves to get the tight end involved, right? He loves to run with the quarterback. Things you see with the Bills.
Dawson Knox got paid
Dawson Knox got busy because Brian Daboll, that's what he does. He uses the running backs, some wide receivers, and he loves to use the tight end. So I think that he'll have a better year next year in the second year in Brian Daboll's offense. But to make the Giants a next step, that part is tough for me. Because when I look at the Giants, like, they can compete, but can they really win? Can they compete against the Cowboys? Can they beat the Eagles? You see what I'm saying?
If they can't, though, in my mind, it's not Daniel Jones that's hurting them. Like, when you think about the Giants and I think about the Eagles, those rosters are not comparable. When I think about the Giants and I think about the Cowboys, those rosters are not comparable. When I look at the Giants, I'm not like, oh, it's Daniel Jones holding them back. When I look at the Giants, I'm like, well, the Eagles have 70 sacks last year. The Giants have Andrew Thomas. The Eagles have Mailata, Kelsey, and Lane Johnson. The Eagles have, you know, it's just better. So I'm not looking and saying like, those teams are so much better because those teams are so much better. But Daniel Jones ain't holding them cats back.
But that's why I'm saying no, because I still feel like defensively they got to get a little better for the Giants, right? Because we want to put it all on the quarterback, but it's not all on the quarterback, right? Defensively they got to get a little better. Offensively they brought him in a couple more weapons. Last year he didn't have that many weapons. I mean, my dog Isaiah Hodgins came in from the Buffalo Bills doing his job, but now they brought in some receivers and all that. But still, when I look at it, if you are going to win 2 playoff games, you have to carry your football team at one point during the season, and especially when you get into the playoffs. Right?
That team.
Yes.
Other teams you don't.
No.
Remember the Niners?
But your team.
The Giants team is what I'm saying.
Yes, you have to carry this Giants team.
Fair.
I don't think he's that type quarterback. If we said right now, is he a top 10 quarterback, that would be an easy no, right? If we said top 15, we'll probably all be like scratching our head, man. So when you telling me possibly a top 20 quarterback is going to win 2 playoffs games, and he doesn't have what Jalen Hurts has around him or what Brock Purdy has around him or what Dak Prescott has around him, that's tough. And I don't see that being done because he's not a Patty or in a Josh Allen category where he carries his team.
I just think that for his talent and his skill level, to move them going forward and have a more success with the Giants, he needs more around him for that to happen. I think if you put a guy like a Mahomes in New York, he's that good where, he's going to elevate this team. He don't have the talent level to do that. So I think he needs some more players around him. Like when we watch Daniel Jones, I mean, I don't see nothing he does special, right?
Yeah, I fair.
You see what I'm saying?
He can run.
He can run. He's fast, but I just think that he needs to have some more pieces around him before we can start saying, he's going to elevate this team and they're going to go so far. They don't have the roster, I don't think.
And now we truly going to see, too, because we all know. Who believed in the Giants last year? Absolutely nobody.
I did.
Absolutely.
I know Dave Ball, bro. He's a great coach. I did.
Well, except Shady, nobody else believed that they would win 9 games and be in the playoffs, right? Even as they were going on the winning streak. It was a bunch of people like, it's just a matter of time before the Giants going to be the Giants. You know what I'm saying? And they found ways to win really close football games. It was like 5 one-score games that they won.
How do you do that? Because as we all know at this desk, I believe it's still 24% of NFL games are decided by 3 points or less. Best way to not lose a game is to not turn the ball over.
Absolutely.
As you all very well know, I think Daniel Jones led the league in interceptions as it pertains to not throwing them. Only threw 5 interceptions last year. So though we scoff at his 15 touchdown passes, I'm thinking to myself, Daniel Jones is not losing games. And in a league where more games are lost than are won, quote Bill Belichick, Daniel Jones is not losing football games.
The question is,
that's a really good point.
Daniel Jones take the Giants to the next level is what we're talking about. The question isn't, can Daniel Jones not lose games?
And that point right there.
So to me, the question is he capable? Is him on his own, the way that Patty would, the way that we've seen Aaron do it, the way that Brady would do it? the way that Stafford was able to do, the way Lamar can do it. Can he do those type of things when it matters the most?
But see, that's why it's interesting. It's a great question you asked.
With the roster he has.
The reason I love that question is because to some degree I would say yes, but it's awkward. Listen to me for a second. Remember the game that Lamar Jackson lost versus the Buffalo Bills? They lost by 13 or 14
pick six and all that, yeah. Okay.
He threw a pick six at the 3-yard line, went the other way. It's a 14-point swing. That's a game in which you lost by 14 points. When I think about Josh Allen will turn the ball over and lose his team games. When I think about Dak Prescott last year versus the 49ers and Dak Prescott, they lost that game because of his turnovers. So when we're saying, hey, can he do these things that these quarterbacks can do? I'm saying maybe not aggressively, but he also doesn't make the mistakes that these quarterbacks have made that have cost them team games in the playoffs as well.
But he does not have the team. He does not have the team around him to not be that guy to win games. Daniel Jones, to win 2 playoff games, you have to be the guy to lead your team to that. You may win a couple regular season games and all that, playing it safe, not taking no chances and all that, but he has to be the guy to win them those games in the playoffs, taking shots, making the big throws when the games is on the line. I have not seen that from him consistently. I don't think it's going to get done this year.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.